Today, we are getting ready to make 7 healthy, delicious recipes that are good for managing blood sugar. Now, before we go on, I want everyone to know that I am not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a registered dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. And this video is just for informational purposes only. I just came from my garden grabbing a few key ingredients that we will be using. Our recipes will include avocado toast, tortilla breakfast pizza, egg, spinach, and cheese breakfast, cinnamon rolled oats and nuts, Southwest scramble, scallion, shrimp and grits, and pancakes. First up, we're going to make our tortilla breakfast pizza. Okay, for our tortilla breakfast pizza, okay, whenever you're using bread or anything, you want to either use a keto bread or whole grain. So I am using these keto tortillas. Now, I'm going to use this little bitty cast iron skillet to make it in. I'm going to line it with foil just to take up some of the extra room. You do not have to line your pan, any pan. I am doing this simply because my pan is larger than my tortilla shell that I have today. Line my pan. Please know you do not have to do this. I am only doing this so that this little mini, I actually have a mini one. This mini one will fit down in there and go up on the sides a little bit, just like that. The larger ones will fit in a cake pan perfectly, okay? So this is just me improvising because I didn't have the larger shells. I thought I did, but I didn't. Okay, so you want it to go up the sides just like that, okay? Remember, you don't have to line it, but if yours don't fit, that's a good idea to line it, okay? Now, we also will be putting in some diced tomato. This is about 2 tablespoons of diced tomato. This is about 2 tablespoons of various colored bell peppers, okay? None of these are hot. They are just regular bell peppers. I have green, red, and yellow. You can put any color you want in there. You can put one color in there. You will need 1 egg, a little mozzarella cheese. I am using my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning today as a seasoning. It has no sugar at all of any kind in it, and it is very low in sodium. So this is why I'm using it. It's a great all-purpose seasoning, and like I said, there's no sugar in it at all. There's no sugar in any of my seasonings. So if you don't want even the low sodium, I also do have a no salt that can be used. And if you want a little heat, because you can't have hot peppers, I have a fiery hot. So that's the variety that you have. But today we'll be using just the all-purpose seasoning. Okay. And right here, this is actually a kale leaf. The recipe typically calls for spinach. But as I mentioned in the beginning, I went out and grabbed a few things from my garden. And kale is what I had outside in my garden. So I'm using my kale, but feel free. Spinach is actually what goes in. You'll see me use kale throughout a couple of recipes, and that's because that's just what I have. And that one little kale leaf is about 2 or 3 spinach leaves. Now, if you are making a much larger one, then adjust the amount of tomatoes and the amount of peppers that you use to accommodate it. All right. So right now, before you get started, you want to make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. So the first thing we're going to go down with is our, in this instance, kale, but you want to put your spinach down in the bottom. Okay. And you see that one leaf covered this whole small tortilla shell. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and add in our chopped peppers. In with a few tomatoes. Pour this egg right over here, just like this, right over the top. Okay. Now I like to go in and just kind of crack my yolk just a little bit because I like for it to spread over my whole dish a little bit. Now we're going to go in with a little of my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. Season to taste. So put the amount of seasoning that you would want on there. Then we will top it with just a little of this mozzarella cheese. We're going to bake this for about 15 minutes in a 400 degree Fahrenheit oven, and This is what it should look like going into the oven. Okay, while our breakfast tortilla is cooking, we are going to move on to our Southwest scramble. Okay, and if you hear a little humming in the background, that's because my oven is behind me humming. Okay, you will need some ground turkey. This is about the size of one burger. You'll need 1 egg. And we will also need some diced onion. I have diced bell pepper already here and mozzarella. So I'm just going to get a slice and we're going to dice it up. Now I'm using probably maybe a little bit more onion than most people may like. And that's just because I love onion. Okay. I'm actually doing these recipes because I have had so many requests for them or alterations to some of my other dishes. So this is why I'm not a diabetic. And again, this is not medical advice because I am not a medical professional. Please seek advice from your healthcare professional or a medical professional before you change your diet or if you have any questions that you need to ask. Okay. For our Southwest scramble, heat up a skillet. We're going to use olive oil. You can use olive oil, avocado oil. I'm going to put in our ground turkey. And you kind of want to break it up as it starts to cook. I am using this in most of these recipes today. This is again my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. Okay. Again, when it comes to the seasoning, because it has no sugar in it and low sodium, season to taste. So it's not a teaspoon or a tablespoon or anything like that. Season to your taste. Taste it and see if it has enough seasoning on it for you. Okay. Once our ground turkey is almost done, we're going to add in our green bell peppers and onion so that we can let it saute right along with the meat and those flavors can incorporate as well. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. You want your onions to saute long enough to become translucent and fragrant. You need to smell the food. Smell the food. It doesn't have to be bland or anything like that. It can be very, very tasty. Okay. Okay, once your ground turkey is done and your onions are translucent, you can smell them, they're nice and fragrant. We're going to go in and beat our egg. Just like with anything else, you want to season in layers. So we add a little of our Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning to our egg. We're going to mix this in and scramble it up for our Southwest scramble. High protein. This is a high protein breakfast. Healthy fats. We use olive oil. Go ahead and stir this. Cooking that egg. Now you don't want to cook it until the egg is completely done. Okay? At this point, we are going to top it with a little mozzarella cheese. Put in a little parsley from my garden. This is just dried parsley. This is more or less for garnish than anything. Okay. Now, the reason I said you don't want to cook that egg all the way is because now we are going to remove it from the heat and put a top on it and let the residual heat continue to cook it. And we'll be back. Okay, for our egg, spinach, and cheese breakfast sandwich, we are going to use whole grain, multi-grain, whole grain bread. Okay, this happens to be Sara Lee. This is not a promotional video, but I'm just showing you what I am using. Okay, so you want a whole grain bread or a keto bread. I'm putting a little olive oil in so that we can toast our bread. Okay. Just want to put it in there and let it toast. If it'll fit, that's good enough. And just want to get it nice and toasted. I'm just going to toast the one side. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're nice and toasted. The toasted part is going to be on the outside. Okay, you want to add a little bit more olive oil to your skillet. And we are going to wilt our greens. Just kind of want to wilt it down a little bit. Once it's wilted like this, and you can wilt yours as much as you want. I don't like mine wilted too much. Go ahead and we're placing it on our bread. Now I have a piece of provolone cheese that I'm going to lay right on top of this spinach, okay? Adding a little bit more olive oil to our skillet. This time we're going to fry our egg. Adding some of my Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning. Me personally, I am busting my egg just slightly, okay? Cook it on that side just a little bit. And for those of you all who like that runny egg, as you can see, it's not fully broken in there, okay? I flipped it so that I can get that white part cooked, okay? And we will be looking at all these dishes after we're all done. Then just lay your egg right on top. Okay. Top it with the toast. Now we are going to make our avocado toast. We're going to toast our bread again. This time, we're going to toast both sides, okay? So we're going to get one side nice and toasted, then we're going to flip it over and toast the other side. Toasted enough for yourself, go ahead, add a little bit more olive oil in, flip her over, and toast the second side. We've got our bread nice and toasted. Now we're going to cut our avocado. Ooh, nice and creamy. Okay, scoop half of your avocado out. Okay, and we also want to take this half out. I love avocado, so personally I could eat the whole thing. Flip it upside down, take this little extra out and put it over here with this one. Now the first thing you want to do on this side is squeeze some lemon all over it, okay? Just squeeze a little lemon over it. Keep it from browning so quick. Then we're just going to slice this one. Kind of separate them a little bit because we're squeezing lemon juice on these as well. That little brown spot out. Go ahead and squeeze some lemon on these. Just to make sure I have lemon everywhere, I like to kind of brush that lemon on. You can stir it if you want, but when I want slices like these, I want to keep the slices. I like to just brush it on. Okay, now we can set that aside. The first thing I like to do is go ahead and squeeze lemon into my avocado. I do this in the beginning. Then after it's all combined, I do it again. Because I like for it to stay nice and vibrant in color. Go in and mash up our avocado, onion powder, a little garlic powder, and just a drop of salt to help bring out that flavor. And I'm also using avocado oil in my avocado. This will help it become a little bit more creamy. So you just need about a teaspoon or two if you're using half an avocado. Now we just want to get this stirred up. Avocado is nice and smooth, or smooth enough for yourself. Go ahead and put in maybe about another teaspoon of lemon juice. Because now that you have it all incorporated and it's all mashed up, you can be sure that lemon juice gets over everything. This is to ensure that your avocado just doesn't turn brown before you can eat it or get to the table or what have you. So now we grab our dish with our toast and we put it on. Our tortilla pizza is cooling from the oven. Now I like to go in and just cut it. And we're using everything bagel seasoning to put right on top of it. And this is so delicious. And we just take our little avocado slices and kind of garnish our plate with it. Next up is our cinnamon, oats, and nuts. The key to having your oatmeal is to not use the instant kind. Use old-fashioned rolled oats, okay? This is what you want, the old-fashioned rolled oats, not the instant kind, not the kind in the packets, okay? Another key thing you may want to do is use water, not milk or anything of that nature, just plain water to make your oats with. So let's head to the stove. Okay, when it comes to oatmeal in general, just whether you're putting anything in it or whatever you're doing with it, I like my oatmeal creamy. I do not like my oatmeal like most people. So I'm going to say, cook your oatmeal however you like to cook it. I'm just using water instead of any type of milk or anything of that nature. In order to get the oatmeal creamy, you must cook the oatmeal and the water at the same time. You don't bring the water to a boil. So that's what I'm doing, okay? So cook them according to package directions or according to how you like your oatmeal, okay? I like mine nice and creamy, so I'm cooking it all together. My mom used to cook it like that, and I grew up eating it like that. And I honestly don't know anyone else that eats their oatmeal creamy like I do. So if you eat your oatmeal creamy, let me know down in the comments if you like it creamy or if you like it kind of stiff, more like a soft cookie is what I think of when I see most people's oatmeal. I think of a soft cookie, and mine is more creamy. It reminds me more of some type of porridge than it does a cookie. So I'm going to let this cook. You see how it's starting to get nice and creamy, and I'm going to actually add just a tad bit more water in here because I like it really creamy. Once it comes back up to that boil, I'm going to reduce the heat and just let it simmer. Nice and creamy that is. That's the way I like mine. Okay, you may not like yours that way, so cook your oatmeal the way you like to cook it. Pour it in your bowl. We're going to now just sprinkle it with a little cinnamon. And I am topping it with pecans. You can use whatever nuts that you prefer or that you like. Okay? And that's your cinnamon oatmeal nut bowl. Okay. Let's move on to our shrimp and grits. When I say grits, to be diabetic friendly, you need yellow corn grits. Okay, these are organic yellow corn. It's also called polenta. Okay, it's the same thing. I have some more here. This same thing, yellow corn grits. This is what they look like, and these are the type that you want to get. Okay, if you can't find it to say yellow corn grits, you want to look for polenta. All right, so cook your grits according to the package direction. All right, so I'm just going to bring some water up to a boil right now. Once your water starts to boil for your grits, put in 1 bay leaf. Okay, I am also adding some of my Pam's Prep fiery hot seasoning as well. This will give us our seasoning, and then adding in the grits. Now cook yours according to package direction. You may want a half a cup or a full cup. I just know how much I'm putting in because I like grits, so I cook them all the time. Okay, so we're going to let these cook. I'm going to turn them down and put a top on them. Then we're going to head over to the other side of the stove and get our shrimp done. We are going to be sauteing our shrimp in avocado oil. You can use olive oil. I just like the fact that the avocado oil is pretty tasteless. Okay, it doesn't have really a flavor to it. Okay, so we're going to heat up our skillet. While our skillet is heating up, we're going to go ahead and season up our shrimp. I have 4 shrimp here. I am putting some Pam's Prep all-purpose seasoning on the shrimp and rubbing it in. We're going to let this sit and hang out while we saute our vegetables. Okay, we have here about 1/4 of a cup of yellow, red, and green bell peppers mixed. Scallions, and save some to garnish with. You just want to saute this for a few seconds. Then go ahead and add your shrimp in. You want to cook the shrimp for maybe about 2 or 3 minutes per side. These are just fresh raw shrimp. Okay. While your shrimp is cooking, make sure you fish out that bay leaf so you won't forget about it. Okay. After 2 or 3 minutes, go ahead and flip your shrimp over. Make sure you don't overcook it. It'll be rubbery. Go ahead and give those veggies another quick toss. Okay, give your grits another stir. They should be nice and creamy. Then we want to add our shrimp. And go around with some of your veggies. Now from here, you want to take your avocado oil and you just want to drizzle just a little bit over the top. It's going to help your grits stay nice and creamy. Just a little bit. Okay, we're going to be tasting all of this shortly, or at least some of it. Okay, on to our pancakes. Okay, so now we're going to make our pancakes. We're going to put everything in the blender. Always start with your wet ingredients. If you have any that are liquefied, use those first in the blender. That helps the blade to get going. So the first thing we're going to do is add 2 eggs. And again, I always crack my eggs in something separate just in case I get a bad one. Next, we have a half a cup of cottage cheese that we're going to use. This is keto certified. This brand is what I use. It's a very good brand, and it is keto certified. So it works well. I'm adding a half a cup. That's probably what's left in here. So I'm just going to put it all in here. Then we're adding a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. You need a half a cup of mashed bananas. I am putting these in here like this because I freeze my bananas right before they go bad. So this was a frozen banana. So I may need to add a little water to my batter at some point in time just because the bananas are frozen, okay? And we're using a cup and a half of old-fashioned rolled oats. Now we just want to blend this all together. Okay, so I ended up adding maybe about a teaspoonful of water, just a tad bit I needed. So your batter should look like that. Now from here, let your batter sit while you heat up your skillet and everything. Let your batter sit. You want it to now soak back up some of that liquid. So I'll see you at the stove. We'll be using olive oil for this, so put a little in your skillet. You're going to be adding it to your skillet as you go along with the pancakes. Let that oil heat up. Once your skillet is good and hot, go in and give your pancake mix one last stir. Swirl that oil around so that it can go ahead and get those edges set. Okay. If you have any crumbs in your skillet, once you take that first pancake out, get it out of there. It will burn. Or if you can't get it out, at least push it to the side. Add more oil. Okay, so we have our pancakes here. Don't they look amazing? Now, who doesn't want something on their pancakes? Syrup, compote, or something. Now, you can use berry compote, but what I like is to take peanut butter. I'm going to melt it, and I'm going to have it as peanut butter syrup. No sugar at all, okay? You need to have something to emulsify with the peanut butter when you're melting. It's kind of like when you melt chocolate and you have butter with it. So we're going to add in, you don't need much, but we're going to add in maybe about, for what the amount of peanut butter I have, maybe 2 teaspoons of coconut oil. I am actually going to melt this. You can do it over a double boiler, but I'm going to melt this in my microwave right quick. 30 seconds to start with, 10-second increments after that until it's nice, smooth, and melty. So I'll be right back. Add a few nuts to the top. We are all done. Oh my goodness. Look, doesn't that look amazing? Look at those pancakes. Oh my goodness, so y'all can see the nuts. Yes. Look at those pancakes. Yes. Oh my goodness. The egg scramble. The scallion, shrimp and grits. Our tortilla pizza. Our spinach, egg, and cheese on whole wheat multi-grain bread sandwich. Breakfast sandwich. Cinnamon and nuts oat bowl. And last but not least, our everything bagel avocado toast. Oh my goodness. Now y'all know this is way too much for me to taste everything. I wish I could ask you all which y'all want me to taste, and I'll taste it. But I will taste the shrimp and grits. And I will taste one other thing. Maybe the egg scramble. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Let me get a knife. A knife so I can cut me a piece of shrimp. Oh my goodness. If you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. I really do appreciate each and every one of you all. If you are not subscribed to the channel, take a second and subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. It helps me and the algorithm. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for keep coming back and hanging out with me. And those who are members of Pam's Private Pantry, thank you so much for your loyal, faithful support. Okay. That little drizzle of avocado oil that I put on here gave the grits that little creamy feel, that little mouth feel that you normally would feel from butter. The Pam's Prep fiery hot seasoning, you can taste the heat just like regular shrimp and grits. Okay? You don't need all the butter and stuff. The bay leaf, you can taste the flavor from that. This is amazingly delicious. Let's taste this egg scramble. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm gonna take a bite of this avocado toast. Avocado toast is one of my favorite. I eat it like every other day. I love, love, love avocados. Oh my goodness. I just broke me off a piece. Delicious. That warrants me licking my fingers. All of this is so good. And I tasted the peanut butter syrup while I was making it. It gives you that sweetness that you would normally get. Make sure it's an all natural peanut butter. Okay. Don't buy all that other stuff that have the sugar in it. You want an all natural peanut butter. You can even just take, which is what I had done, some peanuts, okay? Regular peanuts, and grind them down until they turn into peanut butter. Just keep grinding. Put them in a blender, food processor, and just keep grinding until they become peanut butter, all right? If you don't want to buy all natural peanut butter. All right. So thank you all once again. I will leave all of these recipes down in the description of this video. So if you want to make any of them, you will have all of the ingredients and everything that I used in each one of these down below in the description. All right. And my seasonings can be found at pamspreps.com. And I will see you next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Hit subscribe and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.